Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Starship Troopers hopper bug. So, the hopper bugs represent a form of flying arachnid strategically deployed on Planet P to execute hit and run tactics against smaller units and provide aerial support during major offensive. Functionality akin to the warrior bugs with wings, these creatures exhibit remarkable swiftness and agility in flight. Sorry. However, their lightly armored bodies render them susceptible to enemy countermeasures in combat. Hoppers employ two primary methods of engagement, either by utilizing the stinger located at the posterior end of their tails for grabbing and stabbing adversaries, or by swooping down to slash with their claws before swiftly retreating to evade retaliation from surviving foes. So, historically wise, during the Roughnecks' mission to Whiskey Outpost, they encountered a group of hoppers which proceeded to stalk them. One of the hoppers targeted and eliminated by the Roughnecks sergeant when he ventured alone to higher ground in an attempt to establish a radio signal. Subsequently, during the Arachnid's assault on Whiskey Outpost, the warrior bugs received reinforcements from several dozen hoppers in a significant event. One of these hoppers was struck down in mid flight by Johnny Rico, plummeting to the ground and inadvertently crushing General Owen. All right. So, uh, not as much reading here today, which is kind of good because I'm just kind of getting up here. I've been kind of working on a ship here, and we'll get that out for tomorrow. And unfortunately, I've got catastrophic fails going on. So, looking at the Starship Troopers, and I think this is from one of their books or possibly even a video game. Um, it's yeah. Essentially, they took the standard warrior bug and they gave it wings, and here we are just having to deal with that. So let's see, we have this from the film in 97, the video game in 2005, and Starship Troopers Terran Command, another video game, as well as the miniatures game. So not as much here, but let's get on over and see what our D6 stats are here today, and we'll get going from there. All right, so the hopper bug, starting off with our dexterity being a 4D, we have a 60 for dodge, giving a little extra defensiveness here. Perception being a 1D plus 1, and a search of 3D. So a little bit above galactic standard. Our strength is 3D plus 1, with climbing and jumping being a 5D plus 1. We also have an orderness of 2D. Our movement here is a 7 for walking, so moving it is slower than our galactic standard. But flying, we have a 20, so twice the speed of most humanoids for running. Let's see, we have a size of 2 meters tall. Weight coming in at about 450 kilograms. We have claws, which gives it an attack of strength plus 1d plus 1. The natural armor here being a strength plus 1d plus 1 to resist damage. We also have a blind sight out to 30 meters, a deadly pass. Hopper bugs can move their full aerial speed and gain a single attack action. To do this, they must fly in a straight line during the round in which they make their deadly pass. The target of this attack is subjected to claw attacks with this or which takes place when the bug sweeps past in a flight path. This motion does not offer a free attack if the claw attack hits during a deadly pass. It deals an additional 1d plus 1 damage and an additional 1d plus 1 for every 5 points they succeed over the attack rolled due to the speed and force of the blow. And of course, we're going to have a little bit of a write up here, so we'll kind of see what they have from D6 Holocron. The hopper bugs are a deadly part of the arachnid army, both for their sheer speed and mobility and the lethal nature of their sudden attacks. A flight of them sweeping down out of the sky towards a platoon of troopers can be a swift and violent end to the entire military campaign. While there are ways to detect the motion of hopper bugs in flight before they become visible, it is incredibly difficult, and most units are not equipped to do so. The best most squads can do, in hoping for fighting the hopper bugs, is to remain alert, to be ready to dive for cover, and keep looking to the sky. All right, a little bit different from what we had from the Wikipedia page. So, with that, that's our hopper bug for today. It's, like I said, a smaller write up on all this, uh, which is fine. Never a problem with that. So, hopefully you're enjoying this yet. We have a couple more bugs to get to it, and when we finish this up, we'll figure out what we go to next. And if anyone has any suggestions, please drop them in the comments. It's always wonderful seeing your comments, and I try to respond to most of them. Sometimes it's just a thumbs up because there's, just I can only agree with some of the stuff, and some things where I'm not an expert on Starship. I've watched a lot of the movies. I'm not going to say I'm an expert. I've spent a lot more time with Star Wars, because there is a ton of extra stuff out there. But to be able to bring all this stuff into Star Wars, um, even Star Trek. I mean, I love Star Trek as well. And all the extra stuff, and all the extra stuff that the fans have created, and everything else, which to me is what's really been the keeper for Star Trek and Star Wars even today. It's what us as fans are creating to make the universe continue to grow. I know there's a lot of novelists out there that are helping with that in both genres, and I'm sure with the Starship Troopers, there's got to be some authors out there creating more books and all that stuff. Um, it's us that are always tasked with keeping these franchises that we love so dearly alive. So, with that, thank you for joining me today. It's always wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.